What's up, everybody? Shop update. So like I said in my last video, I'm gonna try to keep up on these updates and kind of show you the build as it goes along. I'm gonna try to set up a camera as I do things too, instead of just giving you updates after the fact to see if maybe it's helpful for some things. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna play this out. All right, like I said, I didn't really have plans to start doing videos again, but some folks, a lot of my friends were always like, "Man, you should post these," right? So I figured I would. But anyways, yeah, we're on my property. This is my 5 acres of peace. That's the truck. That's my 350 dually. And I had some folks asking about the ESX. So yeah, this is a 06 STI ESX edition. If you know ESX editions are, then you know. If not, you can look it up. But this is number 22. The car was at RevWorks in Orlando for a long time, for years, and I don't know if you know the history of how that went down, then you know how that went down. So basically, I got to spend about 12 more grand more than what I had already paid to get the car done to finish it. But I got the 800 horsepower motor sitting on that stand right there. So everything takes money, so I'll get there. But the first thing I got to do is finish the shop, so I have a place to finish it. So that's that. They got the Miata ITA SCCA race car and the Lancer STL SCCA race car and the MK4 GTI STU SCCA race car that I'm still finishing. The motor, fully built motor for that, is in my storage container, and that's my tire machine under there. But yeah, back to the building. Sorry, I got sidetracked. So today, me and my dad have been kind of working on things in here. I took a day off work so I can focus on doing some stuff in here, and obviously when you're the boss at your job, you kind of have to work sometimes, so my desk is set up there. Yep. So what I've got done today that's new, I added the outlets over each spot here for the hyperlights that are going in. The hyperlights actually plug in. You can't hardwire. You could hardwire if you want to cut the pigtails, cut the connector off. But cutting the connectors off does not void the warranty, but it does void the return policy. So I don't want to mess with that, right? I got them for their reliability. I don't want to then go and alter anything. So what I'm doing, since they have to be plugged in, I've put in outlets. As you can see, one there, 4 and 5. Same thing. Number 5, 4 is right there. 3, 2, and then 1 right there. And then in the middle section of the ceiling, I've got 3 of them. 1 at the very end, 1 in the middle, and then 1 over here. Hyperlite had recommended 5 down the middle, but what I wanted to do is I want to do the LED hexagon lights that you see a lot of the detail shops have. I'm going to do those in between these 2, and then in between the last 2 as well. I'm going to do hexagon LED lighting. So but I got everything marked. Hyperlite sent me a map of what the layout for the lights should be. So based on the measurements from the sides, from the walls in that mapping, I went ahead and measured everything out and put my outlets based on those measurements, all right, of where the lights can be mounted. My lights are going to be mounted directly next to the outlets. The reason for that, I wanted a very clean look. And the hyperlights, if you remember from my last video, the hyperlights have a hook that they mount with, right? So what I'm gonna do is, at Home Depot, they've got like these 3-inch hooks, 3-inch drop hooks, right? So I'm gonna put those in there. And then the hyperlight hook, the lighting itself is about, maybe like 3 inches below the hook part itself. So that'll give me about 6 inches between the mounting point and the light itself. So what I'm going to do is, and because of the width of the lights, right, you won't see the outlet. So when I plug the lights in, when you're standing from like down here looking, you won't see the outlets or the wire because the light will be blocking it. So it'll just be a cleaner look aesthetically to me. And so I'm gonna do it that way. So each light will be under the outlet, so you won't see it. So that's what I'm doing with these lights myself. So now that I have the outlet boxes everywhere, what my dad and I are going to do, that's taking a break, but what my dad and I are going to do is we're going to run electrical wire from the from my I forgot I put junction boxes up there. I put 3 junction boxes. One junction box is gonna feed the 5 lights on this side. Middle junction box is gonna feed the lights in the middle, and that junction box on that side is gonna feed the lights down the other side of the shop. So what we're gonna do now is I'm going to run 12 gauge. I'm running 12-2 electrical wire from each of the boxes, right, back to the junction box. And then that junction box is gonna be fed by one of the switches here. And then that switch is gonna go to its individual breaker. So I'm gonna have one switch for that row, one switch for the middle row, and then one switch for this row right here. And each switch is gonna be on its own breaker. I wanna keep everything as separate as possible. I got a big breaker box for this reason. So I'm gonna have a 20 amp breaker powering each row. So if I ever need to shut, power down, I can knock out the entire row with the respective breaker, right? If I ever need to. So yeah, so that's where we're at in this video. And like I said, for today, we're just gonna finish running electrical wire to each of the boxes. Once I get the electrical wire going to each box, I can then start putting in the insulation. And then I've got some guys coming in to do the drywall, because I don't know if you ever messed with drywall, but 4x12 sheets of drywall that are 5/8 thick are heavy as crap. So I'm gonna bring in a crew to actually put the drywall up for me. I'll do the electrical and insulation, and then they can come in and just throw everything up themselves. So, because I don't have the manpower for it. All right, my dad is 72. I'm 35 in army years. So I'm done, man. So yeah, so that's where we're at. But it's coming along, and yeah, and then yeah, it's ready. And you'll notice that there's 4 spots for the switches. I'm gonna have a spot for the outside light as well. But this is really it. And then this pad right here, I've got a big Ingersoll Rand compressor, standard compressor, 80 gallon or 120, one of those. It's in the container, but it's gonna be mounted. It's gonna be sitting right here. And then we've got this whole outdoor space here covered. So when I come from the house up there, I can just drive up under a covered space if it's raining or something to get into the building here. But yeah, so this is it. So I'll shoot you guys an update video again once I get all the wires ran, and so you guys can see what that kind of looks like, and I'll explain how I ran the wires and did electrical, in case anyone's kind of curious. But yeah, so thanks a lot. Hope you guys are finding this at least some kind of entertaining. But yeah, thanks.